Hey everybody, I'm Joe Deganzik, and this is Smarter Home Life. So, if you remember, about a year ago, Google one-upped Amazon by introducing a couple new products, but more specifically to this video, the Google Home Mini smart speaker, which was the new competitor to Amazon's Echo Dot, which was the second generation at the time. So, this year, Amazon has leveled the playing field with the introduction of the Echo Dot third generation. I'm going to screw up these names as I go through the different comparisons. So finally, with this device, now there's actually I have the ability to do an actual real comparison video, and thus this video. So I'm going to go through the physical characteristics real quick. I'm not going to go through all the differences in kind of like the software. And before we get any further, I will tell you that I'll go through the full audio test in a couple minutes, but largely these are very, very similar now in terms of audio quality and audio output. That was the big difference. Last year, basically, Google Home's, the Mini was basically way better than the previous generation Echo Dot. Now they are pretty similar. Alexa versus Google Assistant. I'm not really going to go through that. They basically get you to the final end result. They just go about it differently. So let's go through the physical characteristics. Both of them now covered with what they call acoustically transparent fabric. This is to make sure it doesn't interfere with the audio coming out. The audio comes out of the sides now of the Echo third generation, or the third generation Dot. And it comes out the top, and Google calls it 180-degree audio. So you're coming. So if you're listening to the devices, they're going to sound a little bit different, kind of in side-by-side comparisons. In terms of usability and buttons and tactile controls, I'm going to give the advantage to Amazon here because they actually have like tactile controls that you can feel with the actual raised symbols on the buttons. And I just think that's better. Google's design is very, very minimalistic. It'll sit in your home. Both of these would do well with their multiple color and finish choices. They would look great in any decor. They'll match up very nicely. Google's ultra minimalist design, I think, has some problems. The volume, you basically have to touch the sides of it. In addition, you can long press it or short press it for different functions. Their challenge with this device is that if you want to mute it, it's on the back and it's a physical switch. So you have to start feeling around for it, which means you're going to trigger the touch functions. So I'm going to give the advantage for actual physical tactile control to Amazon on this one. For inputs and outputs and things like that, you have USB, micro USB power input on the back of the Google Home Mini, and on the back of the Echo Dot third generation, you've got proprietary power via their little power brick now that they used to have micro USB, and they dropped that for some reason. And you do still have the 3.5 millimeter stereo output, which is a very popular reason why people buy these guys, to connect them to more powerful speakers. Now on this one, you have a more powerful speaker, so maybe you won't use that option as much, but I think it's great to have that option, so advantage to Amazon. Otherwise, for wireless, you do have, of course, they both connect to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so you can actually Bluetooth stream to the device, to each of these. For if you want to get audio out of the Google Home Mini, you can Bluetooth stream to other devices, but again, no 3.5 millimeter output jack. You can also cast, like Chromecast, or cast to many different devices. You can cast, of course, audio from your PC and Mac and smartphone and many other devices directly to the Google Home Mini and other Google Home speakers. Amazon is working on a cast-like service. It only works with Amazon Music right now and that specific app. Okay, so now the part that you've actually been waiting for, the audio test. So number one, both of them, like I mentioned, very, very similar in output, roughly 75 to 80 decibels measured in a quiet room, with both of them separately at maximum volume. So what I did was recorded these basically with just a little bit of headroom, but basically left the actual max recording level at the same level, so it's equal for both. I'm going to put up a side-by-side comparison photo and the level meters, and it's kind of a techno-y song, so I have EQ'd this as best for my ear as possible in terms of being a little bit more heavy on the bass, a little less on the treble. What'd you think? Which small smart speaker reigned supreme? I'm going to give the overall advantage and the win for versatility, for the tactile controls, and of course for audio quality to the Echo Dot 3rd generation. Now, both of these, like I said before, they're very, very similar in audio output and volume. A little bit of distortion I'm feeling at the very top end of the volume scale for the Google Home Mini, and the Echo Dot is just producing better low end and mid range. That's not to say that you wouldn't be happy with a Google Home Mini, and I've been happy with them for a year. They populate my home. I've got 2 of these guys and then the regular Google Home, and if I was in the Amazon camp, I would probably be using the 3rd generation Dots for a smaller space, for a tiny home specifically like I have. I love these tiny little speakers. You can put them in places. They fill up small rooms with sound. Whole house audio is fantastic. The other thing, of course, comparing both of them for voice response, which is what these things do, of course. Voice assistance is the name of the game with both of these guys.
Google,
largely, the overall answer is they both do them. They will both answer you equally well. They will both hear you equally well in noisy environments, in environments like parties. You got to talk over your guests or yell over your guests. Same thing with if you've got podcasts running or TV shows or something like that. They can only really distinguish you speaking if you're louder than everything else or you're closer to each individual speaker. An advantage on the Amazon side of versatility, they just introduced, Amazon did last month at their event, the Echo Sub to give you a richer experience, which you can pair now with the Echo Dot, along with stereo pairing, which you can only do on the Google Home Max speakers. Those are those $400 giant speakers. On the Echo side, stereo pairing is now available for the regular Echo, the Echo Plus, and the 3rd generation Echo Dot to give you that nice stereo separation. Again, advantage Amazon. I'm surprised I'm actually kind of giving Amazon the advantage, but they do have that great lineup of devices that keeps getting wider every single year, it seems. That is my opinion. I hope the audio tests were helpful for you. I hope all the data was helpful for you to make your decision if you're in one camp or the other and you want to jump ship or you haven't made a decision yet. I hope this helps you. Perhaps in the future I'll make a video that'll actually detail all the differences between the voice assistants. I've kind of gone over those in general in previous videos, and they continue to change. So you put out a video and it's immediately out of date. So I'm going to cut it off there, and I'm going to say thanks for watching. As always, I am here to help you with your smart home. If you've got questions, want to set up a dedicated consulting appointment with me, you can do so at smarterhomehelp.com. It goes right to the form. Otherwise, view the wide library of videos on many different smart home topics right here on YouTube, or get the show across social media at Smarter Home Life. I'm Joe Deganzik, and I'll see you next time.